community. Welcome to episode 4 of the reSELLer Files. I'm here with my pal Josh, LotOfJosh, who is just now.
I hope that's a rookie mistake by me.
Oh, was that you? Good. I thought it was me. I was like, darn, what did I do?
That was me. I went through beforehand and made sure I muted it too. I guess I messed it up or something, or didn't click it properly.
Well, I'm glad it was you and not me.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Josh. So Josh is now full-time reseller. Welcome to the reseller full-time world. It's a little bit different, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I almost feel like I have less time as a full-time reseller. I just feel like I'm always behind now because as a part-time reseller, it's almost like it's at the end of the day, like I don't rely on the paycheck that comes through reselling. So it's almost like if I don't want to do it, I can just kind of watch TV, relax, do whatever I want. But now it's almost
like
exactly, yeah. I always feel like, especially with like the YouTube on the side as well, it's just like I feel like I'm like constantly working, but at the same time, like I don't know, it's kind of freeing to kind of just build up my own schedule right now and kind of just like work for myself. So it kind of feels nice. It feels really nice.
That's awesome. Well, let's back up just a minute and have you introduce yourself and how long you've been reselling in general and kind of how long it's been since you've been full-time.
Yeah, so my name is Josh, as Marcy said. I have a YouTube channel, LotOfJosh. So I've been reselling for, I guess, almost like a year and a half now. So I feel like in terms of experience-wide, like I probably am not ready to like jump the boat and go full-time, but I just felt like just like at my point in the career, so I spent like the past 5 years in the military, and my contract just ended. Actually, technically, it's still going. It technically ends October 1st, but I moved to Jersey, got completely out, so I took like a bulk batch of vacation days at the end. So that's kind of like why I'm able to leave a little early. But well, it's been like less than a month now since I moved up here, so I guess I've been full-time reselling for less than a month and just trying to like take what I've learned as a part-time reseller and just kind of build this business up and I don't know, somehow make it work, I guess.
What was the big transition to Jersey? What drew you up to Jersey? And where in Jersey, by the way? We have family up there.
Oh, really? So I'm in North Jersey, so I'm like 5 to 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge. So
no way! My in-laws are in Wayne.
Oh, really? Okay, that's like 20, 25 minutes from me.
Yeah, I was just up there at the end of July. When did you move?
Really? When did I move? It's been like 3 weeks now.
Okay.
I want to say 3 weeks, so almost a month. But yeah, it's been a crazy move, like just trying to transition out of the military. And at the same time, so I primarily sell on eBay right now. I do Poshmark as well, but I brought my entire inventory up with me. So on top of like a cross-country move from Georgia to New Jersey, like on top of that, I was trying to bring up the eBay inventory and make sure like nothing got damaged and everything. So yeah. So when I brought everything up here, I like re-inventoried everything. And like through the move, like a few things did get damaged. So I ended up taking down like 20 listings and just adjusting them. I had to just like, a lot of it was like new in-box toys, just like wasn't packaged properly during the move. I guess just got like messed up in the truck. So I just had to, you know, annotate little flaws here and there. But yeah, it was a headache, but I don't know. It was all worth it. Everything's up here now. Everything's kind of set in place. So
how long did you take to move?
So driving wise, we broke it up into like 3 days. So my wife, she went to UVA, so we stopped in Virginia for about like a day and a half. We saw some of her friends, and then we just drove like 5-6 hours a day and just kind of like made it a road trip. Like we try to like not stress out about the whole like driving up and like getting here in like a day or two. So we kind of just took our time, but
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think like unpacking was the most stressful part, I think.
Well, you were probably at all of your eBay inventory. You were probably like, you know, what happened inside this box? You know, like anxiety before you even open the box, right?
And so I'm working out of a spare bedroom right now, and it's not like the biggest room. So especially with everything in boxes, like there was almost like no walking room in this bedroom when the movers like moved everything in here. So it was like like where do I even begin? That was like the situation I was in. I just didn't know where to start. So I mean just like one box at a time really, but I guess like took like a week maybe to kind of set
Mhm.
everything up. So I turned my store on vacation mode and just like turned off the listings just so I don't have to deal with it.
Right.
And I did want to like re-inventory everything just in case, like
Yeah,
lost or
definitely.
damaged in transit. So I guess
Definitely.
like a week.
Real quick, Swamp Picker said that would make a good video, how to move your eBay.
Yeah. The thing was, I was kind of lucky. So I had the army like outsource the entire move and they paid for it. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
kind of like
awesome.
the final gift to me, I guess, as my contract's ending.
Do they cover damages?
Yeah, that's like through the company though. So if something got like extremely damaged,
Uh-huh.
then
Not
they
just
would
a
that would have
little
been yeah, it would have
inventory
been like
damage.
yeah, like an insurance claim. The thing is we had to like inventory like high value stuff, so they like anything like over like 150, $200 is really like all they really cared about
Mm.
on that little inventory list for like
Mhm.
insurance claims.
Yeah, it's nice. When we moved to Florida from Baltimore, we had
Hmm.
we did it all through my husband's company. It makes a huge
Okay.
difference.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
difference.
Do they like pack everything too?
Mhm.
Yes, that's what the army does too. They just outsource like everything.
Yeah, like, they're like, "Don't touch it." I was
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean I can't touch my stuff?"
Mhm. So I did a move by myself one time, and you're like if you do it by yourself, they give you like a stipend. So if you do it properly and you like find the cheapest rates and everything, like you can definitely make a good amount of money. But I did that once, and I think I made like just over a grand, which is
Uh-huh.
pretty good. But the amount of work it took was just insane, and
Yeah.
like I was trying to cut costs and everything. So I did most of the packing with my wife, just us two, and trying to like wrap around the furniture, just us two, never having done it before. It was just insane. Like we had no
Yeah.
idea what we were doing.
It's
Like,
best just to outsource it and be done with it.
mhm. Yeah, like what
You'll
it
make
takes
more
them to
money
collect.
going out and sourcing and listing on eBay later.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they packed up my entire place in like 3 4 hours, and it took like when I did it by myself, it was like a good like two
Days.
weeks of yeah, no, it was like weeks like of trying to figure out like where to start and just putting stuff in boxes and just feeling like things just weren't disappearing. It's like an endless task. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I like if I ever have to move, I think it's personally for me just worth making that investment.
Poplar Picker just popped in.
Oh, we got
Tommy
Tommy here.
Bernard.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
See, Tommy
So,
lives pretty close to me now, I think.
oh
Now that
yeah?
I'm in Jersey, I think we're like 2.5 hours apart.
Oh yeah, that's close.
So
I
we'll figure something out,
thought you
Tommy.
meant like down the road.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. It's like he's in I think he's in Delaware, so but I'm in like North Jersey. I think it's like 2 hours. I don't really know.
Bye,
I don't
Swamp.
really I don't think I've ever ventured off into Delaware before. So
Yeah, I think only on off the turnpike. That's about it for my
yeah,
Delaware trips.
pretty much.
So tell me, how has your day changed? You went from
Um,
all of this army structure, right?
yeah.
To here, just have an entire day. What
It's
do you do
it's
with all
it's
that?
weird, but freeing at the same time. Definitely something I'm not used to, just because I'm so used to literally being told like what to wear to work.
Uh-huh.
I wear the same thing every day. They tell me like where to be, and pretty much like almost to the T, like to the point where like they're like giving you like 10 minutes to eat. So like it's almost like prison, like telling you what to wear, where to be, like when to eat, when to have free time. And now that entire chunk of time is just like on me. It was kind of overwhelming at first. Like I didn't really know like what to do, I guess. Since like, especially like part-time reselling, like it's almost like you kind of just go with the flow in terms of part-time reselling. You kind of just do what you want when you want.
Mhm.
And I guess like having the entire day and dedicating that to just purely reselling, it's almost like, I don't know. I didn't feel like this when I was like doing this part time, but I almost feel like I'm constantly behind. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's just so much to do. It almost
There
feels like
is.
I have less time, just because
Mhm.
I always have that like lingering feeling that I'm behind in terms of like tasks that need to get done.
I feel that way every
Yeah,
day, every minute,
yeah. I
every
still
minute,
prefer
especially
that, yeah,
yeah, especially
compared to
because
like having a full-time job,
yeah,
but
I do too.
yeah,
I like being
for
my own
sure.
boss. I will take that
Yeah,
any day.
that's definitely the part that's like super appealing to me right now. Just like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, but, working out of your own home, not that you didn't experience it when you were doing part-time, but now that you're full-time and you have to make it work, just, you know, it's like every room I go to in my house, I'm like, there's more work to be done because
Mhm.
your business is just or my business at least is just spread out all over the place.
Yeah, and you're doing, I know you do primarily Amazon. Do you still dabble in like eBay and Poshmark, or
I
have you just like
just
completely
yeah,
shifted?
my Poshmark closet, I just put it on eternal vacation mode.
Oh, did you?
Just
Okay.
the other day, I was like,
Yeah.
"I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. I just I just can't," I was telling you before the show, I've been making some really good scores and
Mhm.
I gotta go where
Gotta take advantage of
where the
that.
fundage is, you know?
Mhm.
And my eBay is still there. I I don't particularly source for eBay anymore. I
Mhm.
stopped probably about a month ago
Okay.
after some good church sales and stuff like that, then I kinda
Right.
stopped. And I still have yet to get that stuff listed on eBay. It's still sitting in my death pile.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Because, on Amazon, things move so quickly
Mhm.
and, I I source, I go out, I source, I get it listed, I do my shipment, and I go out again.
Yeah.
Get it listed, do my shipment, go out again. And
Mhm.
I might go out like 2 or 3 days straight in a row to get a really big shipment.
Mhm.
Um, but, if the shipment that I told you that I just sent in, that would have probably taken me about a month to get listed on eBay.
On eBay, yeah. But even on eBay, especially since I have more time to list, like
Mhm.
I've been trying to get like the number of listings higher and higher, and been trying to list more. But like kind of like Amazon, like the more you list, I mean,
The more you sell.
yeah, the more listings you have, like the more opportunity buyers have to buy something from your store.
Right.
So I feel like it's just like,
Absolutely.
it feels like the stock market is just like constantly up and down, up and down. It's just like a
Absolutely.
constant battle, and you're just like inching up very slowly. But
Right. Yeah, I think I have like 447 listings on eBay, but
mhm,
a lot of them are not high quality listings.
right,
They're
yeah,
they're they're little itty bitty things that, I may have had around my house or like,
mhm,
my son's, a couple stuffed animals
yeah,
that he
you
no
kind
longer
of,
wants that are kind of unique,
yeah, just
those
threw it
kinds
up
of
there.
things. Um, so I don't have a lot of I have a few high quality listings on eBay, but not a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah, it's
Not
just
a
one of
lot.
those
So
things you threw it up there, and then if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't,
right.
you have
Yeah.
Amazon.
Exactly. It was like one of those things, like I had no money to go sourcing, so I sourced inside my own house.
Yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised
I
of
need to
like,
build my listings. I need to get some more stuff up here. So
yeah,
anyway, yeah. So my plan with my eBay is I'm gonna sell through what I have listed right now.
hmm,
Eventually, the stuff that's in my death pile may or may not get listed. I don't know what I'm
yeah.
gonna do with that yet. I might just take it as a loss.
Are you still paying for a store subscription right now?
I
Or
am. I
okay,
am. Yeah, and I
so
need to.
that, I guess that's like the biggest thing you need to consider
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about, my plan is to go through my listings one by one and, delete some of those low quality ones to
Yeah,
get to get that premium store subscription down, the cost of
yeah,
that down.
right.
'Cause I don't want it costing me money every month either.
Yeah, and that's just something you can do like little by little, just like
Mm,
just do a few listings at a time, review them, and then
yeah, and I do sell, a handful of items every week. So, I mean, I do
mhm,
get a little bit of income.
yeah, right.
I do. I hate to say this, I gotta let the cat out. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Yeah, for sure.
You get trapped in here? You got trapped inside the office?
All right, I'm gonna pull up the chat real quick. Oh, you're back already.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I was gonna pull up the chat and see what else was going on.
Oh, the real Stitch is here. Hi, Frenchie.
Hey, how's it going, the real Stitch? Appreciate that.
Tommy said he's in Long Island. We have family in Long Island too.
Really?
Long Island people are good people.
My mom's in Long Island right now. So.
Ah.
What part of Long Island are they in?
New Hyde Park.
New Hyde Park? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really familiar with Long Island. I just know that I love them. They're fabulous family.
I don't really know Long Island either, so I don't know why I asked. My mom, she just moved there about like a year and a half ago, pretty recently.
So, hey, congratulations on your 4,500 plus subs.
Yeah, I appreciate
Holy
that.
cow, your channel has really blown up. It's awesome.
I recently got a shout out from John the Cincinnati Picker too, so I think that really gave like another boost, like a recent boost. But yeah, it's been getting some traction, so I'm pretty
good for you.
Pretty happy with it, man. I don't know, YouTube's kind of like it's definitely a hobby. Like I definitely like really enjoy like documenting the days and just like throwing up random YouTube videos, just like the whole process of putting it together, like just from filming and video editing. Mm-hmm. It's a very like enjoyable process. So it's kind of nice that I'm able to kind of make a little bit of money too. It's not like a crazy amount. Like I definitely wouldn't be able to do like YouTube full time and like pay the bills with YouTube, but the fact that I'm able to do something that I enjoy and still like I guess make like a little bit of side cash with it, that's definitely like I don't know, it's definitely a very like rewarding feeling, I guess.
That's awesome.
Especially seeing the growth too recently. And I mean the whole process, like I've gotten so much help too. Like even like when I first started YouTube, like that's why I like Lou so much. I know he's not on YouTube much anymore or really at all, but like when I first started, like when I had like less than 100 subs, like 50, 60, he brought me on his channel. And at that point, he was way bigger than me. He had about just over 1,000 subscribers. So he gave me that like initial boost.
Oh, he's such a good guy.
Yeah, so I'm like super thankful for Lou for even giving it like he really like started off my YouTube career. Like I don't know how he found my first few videos. I think he found like my third video that I uploaded when I like just started YouTube. I don't even know how he found it, but he made a comment, like reached out to me. Like I didn't reach out to him. He reached out to me and invited me to his channel. And that really like I think he pushed me over to like 100 subscribers, and that was like a big milestone for me. So that's super awesome. Thankful for Lou.
Yeah, big shout out to my buddy.
Yeah.
Lou Hustles, if nobody or if anybody out there doesn't know who we're talking about.
Who is Lou?
What's that?
Yes, Polar Picker asked who is Lou. Lou Hustles.
Lou Hustles. It's I'll put it in the thing. LU Hustles.
Yeah, he doesn't do YouTube anymore though.
He doesn't, but we still have a lot of old videos on his channel that y'all can go back and look.
Yeah.
We had so much fun on his channel.
You'll be able to find an interview with me, and then I think I jumped on the live with both of you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and Lou had the Thursday night streams going for a little bit.
We did.
Which were always a good time.
I told you, you'll always have a good time with me.
Yeah, especially if you add a little bit of wine in the stream.
Yeah, we called it Wine Down with Lou and Marcy.
Yeah.
And then he randomly switched over to water. All of a sudden he started, I'm like, what are you drinking tonight, Lou? That's the real question. He's like, water. He's like,
he couldn't keep up with you.
I'm sitting here on my 4th glass of wine. I'm like,
yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, but congratulations on those 4,500 plus subs. That is
I
so
appreciate that.
awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate
Super
that.
cool. Super cool.
Yeah, just
So how has your day changed? I mean, now that you don't have that structure, how do you build structure in, or do
yeah, I
you
try
give
to.
yourself a schedule?
I'm, I'm
What are you doing?
I'm like trying out a few different things. I think it'll take a few weeks for me to like really get in a good rhythm. But
Uh-huh.
I think just like every week for now, I'm just gonna try something different. Like I haven't like the past 2 weeks I haven't sourced every day. I've been trying to take advantage of like 25% or like 50% off days, which some of like the
Mhm.
local thrift stores have. So I'm trying to just like strategically go to thrift stores, and then of course right now still on the weekends, there are still a decent number of sales on the weekends around here in terms of like estate sales and garage sales. And I'm not really sure how the estate sales are going to be like in the winter. I'm assuming they're going to keep going on like Saturdays and Sundays throughout. But yeah, I'm going to try just like, so Thursday, there's a thrift store that has like a 25% off. So I think like
Yeah, that's
Thursdays are
right, yeah,
definitely,
because 'cause you're still trying to get to kinda know the area on top of
yeah.
everything.
So I'm still trying out like new thrift stores, seeing like how far I'm willing to drive.
Mhm.
So I don't
So
know.
many changes, so many changes. Yeah, I'm still in a mood. There's days when I know I have to stay home and list. I mean, it
Yeah,
just because
exactly. So
if
I don't
not,
want
then
to.
I'm gonna get behind.
Because
Um,
sourcing, just like driving to the thrift store, especially around here, like
mhm.
there's always, always traffic. I don't understand. Like
I
I was
know, what's up
driving
with
at
the
like,
Jersey traffic?
it was like a Tuesday, and I was driving at like 11 in the morning, and there were just so many cars. I'm like, do people not work? Like, I
It's
know
the
I'm
same
out
way
there
in
at 11
Orlando, there's
driving.
traffic everywhere. I don't
Yeah.
know why, I'm like, "Why?" But yeah, yeah, so, yeah, there's some days that I stay home and I know I have to list, but then there's
Hmm.
other days that I can be sitting and doing my work, like listing,
Hmm.
and it'll be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be like, "I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go
I,
source." Like, all of a
yeah.
sudden, that bug just kinda hits me, and I'm like, "I need out of the house, and I gotta go spend some money." Do you
Hmm.
get like that too?
I've already had a few days like that. To the point where I'm just like, okay, I just need to get out of the house right now, and just like, and I just went to a thrift store and just spent like an hour there. But it was just like, I feel like, so as a part-time reseller, I spent maybe like 2 hours on the business a day.
Uh-huh.
Now that I have all this time, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend all day, like 12 hours a day listing and stuff like that. But I feel like mentally, like my mental capacity just is just not possible.
Yeah,
I might have
it's the top of your pretend yeah,
maybe like 2.5, 3 hours of like really good focus in terms of lifting.
mhm,
And then I just like mentally get burnt out, and I just have to break things up a little bit. So that is kind
yeah,
of why the YouTube is nice. I can kind of like split my time between the two right now.
mhm.
So,
Yeah, that
but
mental focus, what time of the day do you have that best? Is it in the morning like me, or is it in the afternoon?
yeah, it's definitely in the morning. I start strong and then I just crash. I think
Yeah.
it's because once the coffee kicks in, I'm like pretty good.
Yeah,
And then,
I'm, like, really focused for a couple hours. I'm really
yeah.
good. I can work on my numbers, I can work on my bookkeeping, like, whatever, that type of stuff works,
Hmm.
and then come, like, 1 o'clock, I'm like
Yeah.
and I guess that's probably when I'm like, "Okay, I gotta get source."
Yeah. And my stuff like comes in waves too. Like, oh, the good thing is like yesterday I took like a 30-minute power nap just randomly in the day, and that just like reboosted my energy, and I was like, oh, like I can take a nap here and there now. Like if I'm like feeling burnt out, I'm just gonna lie down for 20 minutes
I
because
don't
I
do that
can.
often, but I did do that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I knew I wanted to have energy, for
Yeah.
tonight, but I don't do that often, but I did do it today,
Yeah.
truth be told.
And just like 20 like a 20-30 minute nap does wonders. Like
It
it's
does.
crazy like how much it does for your body
It
in terms of
does.
like productivity.
Absolutely. So what does your wife think about all this craziness?
Um,
And how long have you guys been married?
it's been almost 2 years now. I think we're like a year and 10 months right now. But yeah, almost 2 years now. She was kind of weary at first, for sure, and I mean, especially getting closer to the like transition, like as I was getting out of the military,
Oh.
there was just like a lot going on, like a lot of questions. But she's like super supportive though. I think she sees how much I enjoy reselling, and she's
Mhm.
like, I think that was like a huge factor in her like supporting this. And then she also, I think she sees the potential as well. I think in the beginning, not so much, but after doing it for a little bit, I think she sees that there is potential in
Mhm.
doing this full time.
Do you share your numbers with her?
Yeah, I do. And
Like
I show her
like
whenever I have like a really good flip, I'll like push it in her face. And she's
yeah.
kind of at the point where she really doesn't care anymore. She's like, oh yeah, I don't care really, like whatever. Like
Yeah, see,
I
my
feel like I've seen
husband
this.
yeah. My
Yeah.
husband is a numbers guy, so if
Hmm.
I can back anything with numbers, it's always good,
Yeah. Hmm.
you know? So, like, when I was sharing some of those numbers with you before the show, I keep a log and I have it and, him and I'll be talking, I'll be like, "Well, let me just pull out my logbook here,"
Yeah.
you know? Let me just tell him how much ROI I just made on that sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
That always helps.
Yeah. I think I just had to show her a few good sales in the beginning, and she was like, "Oh, they're like, that's crazy." And she was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, there. I guess this is a thing. I guess reselling is
Yeah, it is a
actually a
thing, it
thing."
really is, it really is, yeah. Yeah, and he's starting to see the bank account start to tick up a little bit, which is
Hmm.
helpful. Because
Yeah,
before when
for
I would
sure.
as soon as I would make money, I would go out and, spend it on
Find it.
more
Yeah.
inventory and spend it on more inventory, and now it's gotten to the point where I hate to say it, until I get into wholesale, which haven't done quite yet. I'm getting there.
Hmm.
I don't have the bankroll I want right now for that.
Right.
But until I get there, I don't have enough hours in the day to be able to spend,
Hmm.
you know, what I can. So the
Right.
bank account's just ticking up, which is sweet.
Yeah.
So he's
That's
starting to see that. So
yeah.
he's
It's like
excited about that.
the
He's
biggest
like, "Yeah,
conversation we had. Yeah, the biggest conversation we had regarding like the money side. Like, I'll definitely be taking a pay cut. Like, that's
yeah, I
like
took a
I've
big
already
one."
accepted that. There's no way I'm gonna be
Yeah.
replacing my income like anytime soon.
You
But
might, before you know it, you might.
yeah, but like realistically, I'm just trying to be realistic, you know.
I know you are.
But
Yeah, I know.
yeah, so definitely a
But you
pretty
never
big
know.
pay cut. But I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, if I just completely fail, like I feel like the jobs will be
That's not
there.
gonna happen.
Yeah. And like worst case scenario, like the jobs will be
That's
there.
not gonna
to
happen because
apply.
we're all gonna be on the sidelines cheering you on, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna
Oh
happen,
yeah,
Josh.
I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Don't get me wrong, but that's kind of like the buffer that's like, okay, like we'll let you give this a try in terms of like family and friends are like, okay, like we'll see what happens. And it's like
Mhm.
I guess like the ball's in my court now to like show them that this is
Yeah.
really possible.
Well, yeah. It's possible. It'll happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the biggest thing with YouTube is like I see people like you doing this full time. I see other resellers, sharing their experience on YouTube. I see them doing it like full time. So that's like proven, that's like their life, their journey is like the proven facts that it's
Yeah, it can
possible. So
happen.
without a doubt. And I
Absolutely.
feel like the funny thing is like my mom's always been kind of like weary about me going full time reselling,
Uh-huh.
and she watches my videos and she just comments, likes, whatever. I think just because she's my mom, but
Oh.
whenever we had the conversation of me diving headfirst into this full time, like she'd always be kind of on the fence, like, oh, like, yeah, you enjoy it, but yeah, that like normal spiel, like, oh, but it's not really a job, it's not really a career. And then she actually like like through watching my videos, she got recommended videos from Matt over at Part Time Pickers. Do you know his channel?
No, I don't.
So he's actually a part time reseller, but he's like just completely killing it, pretty much making a full time income doing this part time. But his videos came up on her recommendations, and she started watching his videos, and he's the one that convinced her that I could do this full-time reselling.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like watching like his numbers and like what he's selling, she's like, okay, I see the potential now. Like, thanks, mom. Like now you
That's
after seeing
awesome.
someone else, okay. But yeah, but that was like that's like the beauty of YouTube. Like people are literally just sharing their business, their
Well, it gave
experience,
me
like
belief.
yeah, like everything they know, they're
Yeah,
just
because
like,
mine just started off as, me selling stuff out of my closet because,
mhm,
I thought I was in between jobs
right.
and I just started it as a hobby, and then I started learning more and more about it. I was like, "This is, like, a full-time real deal? Like,
Yeah,
I could do this full-time? Really? I could replace
exactly.
my
Yeah.
nursing salary? Really?
Yeah.
I can do that?"
Yeah. Which for
And
you
I'm like,
is
"Yeah,
like,
man, I can do it." Guess what? I'm doing it.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's crazy how possible it is that like just start from scratch, build something up, and
When you grow, that's the thing.
exactly.
It's all
Yeah.
about growth, it's all baby steps, and you're always, working on your business, building your business,
Hmm.
which actually is one of my questions for you. So how do you see, obviously your business is growing because you have more time to grow it, but
Hmm.
do you have any particular strategies or a plan of action about how you wanna grow it? And
So
so
the
kind of
I'm
what are
keeping
some of
it
your
very like
goals?
very simple. So at the end of the day, I think I want to keep it like a solo operation for as long as possible. Potentially in the long term, and when I say like long term, that's like 5+ years from now, like the 5-year goal, like potentially have like an employee or two, like helping with like menial tasks like photographing and shipping.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna try to keep it a solo operation for as long as I can handle it. And I know
Is
that's
there a
like,
particular reason why?
I think I just like working by myself. I just like being in my own bubble and just kind of doing my own thing.
Yeah, that is
I
kinda
think
nice.
like I guess I've been like always growing up, I've kind of been an introvert, and I think like working in the military, like really like I'd come back home and just like completely drained just because I mean the military is a people business at the end of the day. That's like 80% of how the military runs is just working with other people and it's the whole
You're
like
peopled
idea.
out.
Exactly. The whole like concept of like teamwork, unity, like one team, one fight, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was a very enjoyable experience, but I just like working with other people just drains so much out of me. Like I'd always feel burnt out, and
Mhm.
like once you feel burnt out, it's just so hard to kind of like get back in the rhythm. You're just
That's
kind
the
of
way
like
it felt with me with
dragging
being
your
a
feet.
nurse.
Yeah, so you're just like
I
constantly
was drained
dragging.
by the end of the day with people.
Exactly. Yeah, so I
And I
like
love people, don't get me
yeah.
wrong,
I
but
yeah, I
woo,
like people. Yeah, I don't like hate people or
it's
anything.
exhausting. Them
Yeah,
people is
but
exhausting.
yeah, exactly. So I think I kind of envisioned the business as a solo operation, but
Mhm.
I said like, depending like long term, just helping out with like photographing and shipping. In terms of space, I think I'm gonna outgrow this bedroom probably in a few months. I'm gonna try to keep it contained as long as possible,
Are you
but
in an apartment or did you buy a
it's
house?
a two-family house,
Okay,
but the landlord lives on the first floor and they're renting out the second floor to us.
okay,
I mean, it's basically the size of an apartment.
okay.
So it's a two-bedroom, second floor. So I'm just working out of a spare bedroom right
So
now,
it's
but
not your forever home, so you can always,
yeah,
when you're
so
ready, you can
hmm
upgrade and
yeah, so we're planning on staying here maybe like 2 years and then looking into buying our own place. Which, as I'm looking at, I'm like looking for a place with like a big basement or something. That's
yeah,
that's gonna be like my priority. Like my wife, she's gonna be looking for like other kinds of stuff, like a good night. Like she's gonna be looking for like a nice backyard, a
right.
balcony. I'm gonna be looking for a basement, like
Well,
somewhere that can support a business at home.
can
That'll be
can
like,
I share a little bit of my news with you?
yeah,
Something
sure.
I wasn't able to share, just because we ran out of time earlier, and
Hmm.
I haven't really, like, shared it in general,
Yeah.
is, one of my goals for my business was we have a garage apartment,
Mhm.
And one of my goals was to move my business up to the apartment.
Okay.
So our renter moved out
Okay, nice.
and I started moving my business in there.
Really? Okay, so
Yeah.
you have, like, pretty much a dedicated building for that.
Well, it hasn't gotten there yet. So right
Mhm.
now I have my eBay inventory there and my photo studio there. So
Okay.
that's kind of like my eBay space
Yeah.
right now. Um, and my Amazon, I'm still running out of the house because I need well, I obviously need the computer to do my eBay listing
Mhm.
too, but I need the product like in my hands as I'm listing on Amazon. So until I
Right.
get enough money for, because I want a new computer, new desk
Mhm.
to just kind of redo that space a little bit into an office.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's
anyway, but yeah, that's kind of my news because I was excited because my goal was to get my business up there, and
yeah. Okay.
I've
That's super
started
cool.
the steps. I've started the
Yeah.
steps. I'm actually paying rent for it, and
Okay.
so yeah, so I'm excited
Awesome. That's
about it.
super cool. Yeah. You're like I it's super cool just because like when I first started YouTube, I guess that's kind of how I met you, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Through
Yeah.
through Lou, like going on Lou's channel, I met you. And that was like when I think you're like maybe a month into full-time reselling at that point. That was
Mhm.
like maybe a
Would have
year
been
ago, right?
Yeah, it was October
Maybe
that
like
I
10
met
months ago or
Lou,
something. Yeah.
so that would have been 3 months into my reselling.
Yeah. And at that point, that was like you just opened the Poshmark closet. It's crazy to think about like how far you've come.
I know, isn't it
It
crazy? And I remember
hasn't
talking
even
on
been a
Lou's
year yet.
channel about how my vision was to get my business in that space.
Mhm.
And now it's not there all the way yet because
But
we're doing, steps at a time,
exactly, yeah.
but because I want to be able to, get the desk that I want for my business. I want to be able to get the
Mhm.
computer that I want for my business. I want to take the time to research what those things are,
Mhm.
things
Yeah,
like that. So,
right.
but yeah,
That's that's crazy. That's how far you've come in like such a like short span of time, I feel like.
yeah, I've been reselling a year in July.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but back to you. This isn't about me. I'm sorry. This is about you. But I wanted to share because I was really excited and I haven't shared that with you yet.
Yeah,
And
no, that's
we ran
awesome.
out of
Yeah.
time before we went live for me to tell you.
Yeah.
So anyway, so your wife is supportive, which
Mhm.
is
Oh yeah,
awesome. Your mom's
100%. Yeah.
supportive. You have the space that you need right now, not necessarily the space where you're going to end up, but the space that you need at the moment,
Mhm.
which is
It
awesome.
works right now. Yeah.
And are your plans just to stay on eBay at the moment and do a little bit of Poshmark on the side? Or
Yeah,
now
that's
have you
primarily the
dabbled with Amazon at all?
I've never even like dabbled with Amazon.
Okay.
So like my primary focus right now is I feel like I don't even have I don't know, it's kind of like crazy how just like how some people balance like that many platforms, especially like eBay and Amazon. They're almost like they're essentially two completely different business models.
They're way different.
Like yeah,
Way different.
there's very little carryover in terms of I guess like you can source for both businesses, but
Mhm.
outside of that, they're just like completely different things. And I just feel like my eBay isn't at the point that I want it to be. So I'm just trying to like focus
Gotcha.
100% on that. And then once I can get eBay to the point where it's almost autopilot, and I've
Uh-huh.
kind of like figured out like a system that's so efficient to the point where, I'm not really thinking too much about it. Kind of
Uh-huh.
like to the point where eBay is on autopilot. And then I think I'm going to try to move on
Ex
to Amazon.
Explain to me what you mean by where you get it to your eBay to where you want it. What does that look like? Like,
So
is it
I'm
so many
looking,
listings or is it so much, time per day, the day that
yeah.
you spend
So
on it? What do
I
you mean
think
by
in
that?
terms of like numbers of sales, so I think right now my eBay is very inconsistent. I average like on a really good day, I'll have like 200, 250 plus in gross sales. On
Uh-huh.
a bad day, it'll be like 60 maybe.
Okay.
So I want it where it's like I guess like my first milestone is like consistently have 200 plus days sales. And then I think once I get to that point, then I'd be comfortable trying to explore into Amazon. I feel
Got
like because learning Amazon takes time too. It's not like it's not it's not gonna take me 1 week to figure out Amazon. It's gonna take
Okay,
me
can I
months.
just tell you, I'm kinda still scared of Amazon.
Yeah, it is kind of scary, especially for eBay sellers. I feel like
It's
it's
super
a,
scary
it's a,
because
it's like a different beast.
I was reading a book that a friend of mine, reseller mom, recommended. It's called, shoop, there it is, Your Guide to Amazon Suspensions.
Okay.
And it talks about, IP claims and,
Mhm.
it pretty much read it so you know how not to get suspended.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that would be
Okay.
like a really good thing for me to read, right? I had like a full-on panic attack
Oh no.
halfway through the book. I was like, "Oh my god," I was like to my husband, I'm like, "They're
They're
gonna
shut me
shut me
down.
down. I'm never gonna go back on. My business will be over.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna have to go back to being a nurse again."
Oh
It's like, "I
no.
can't do that anymore."
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
like the
it's
biggest
still
thing with me.
scary.
Yeah, it's just I know it's gonna be a huge time commitment up front to learn the platform. I feel like
Uh-huh.
it'd take me like a couple of months, like 2, 3 months to really figure it out. And if I
I'm
dedicate
still
that kind of
figuring it
time
out,
to
and now I've
learning,
only been on it since January, but I'm still figuring it out. They still
exactly.
throw me
Yeah.
curveballs every now and then. Like,
Hmm.
they'll all of a sudden, deactivate some of my listings because there's a price alert on it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's, a bottle of paint that I have up there for, $5.50. What do you mean the price is too high? You know?
Yeah, that's
No
crazy.
lie, seriously, it's a bottle of paint
Wow.
that I have up there, and they're like, "Oh, it's a price alert," and they'll shut my
Really?
listing down.
Huh.
But
Yeah,
everybody
that's
else is selling
crazy.
theirs for $7.
Right.
It doesn't
That's
make
so
sense.
weird. Yeah, that's weird.
It's crazy glitches like that.
Yeah. And I
It's
mean, like,
crazy
it's not
'cause
like eBay's free of glitches either, but it's just like, I guess I also kind of really enjoy eBay. I enjoy just like finding random items and just kind of throwing them up and
yeah,
sometimes surprising myself that something sells. Like, there's no way someone bought that. Like,
and
that's
they
just like,
did.
yeah, that's like a business model I'm enjoying right now. But yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
once
because
I'm
you like
able to
doing
get
all your
stuff up,
yard sales and your negotiating and all of that good fun stuff.
yeah, I've been getting a lot of flack recently about my negotiating.
Why? You're so good at it.
Which I feel like I'm not even a very aggressive negotiator, but I think that just comes with putting videos up, I
I
think.
I think it just, yeah, it comes with the territory. People are
Yeah,
just gonna rip into you for anything.
yeah. That's so true though. It's just like random comments. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like,
Yes, people are being people.
yeah,
Just let
that,
them people on their own.
yeah. We'll just leave it at that. It's just some people are very interesting. We'll just leave it at
Yes.
that in terms of what they end up commenting. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like
What's been your craziest comment so far?
so I actually just blocked the guy. I blocked him like 2 days ago. He was just too much for me. Like, like no joke. Like, he would comment like 5 times on the video, pretty much telling me that I'm just like the scum of the earth. I'm taking advantage of people. I'm like,
What?
do you not understand the concept of buying as low as possible so you can sell high? And he would leave like
That's what Walmart does every day.
yeah, and he was just leaving comments like, "Oh, you're like taking advantage of people," and he'd comment that he'd reply to other people's comments and pretty much say the same exact lines like, "Oh yeah, like he has so much maturing to do. Like he like this that yard sale seller is trying to make a living too." I was like,
Yeah, they
okay,
don't.
like
They just want their junk out of their house.
yeah. So it was just like, all right, like someone like that, I'm just gonna block, ban from my channel. I mean, they could just create a new account and like continue commenting, but I'll just keep blocking them. I don't care. I'll just
Hopefully, he doesn't care about you that much,
yeah. But that
but
that's
you
just
never
like
know.
that's like one or two people every once in a while. I feel like for the most part, like 99% of people that are watching like the reselling content, they're pretty supportive, I'd say, for the majority of viewers. But there's always just like it just takes like one account to like really kind of put you on edge and kind of ruin your mood. So
Yeah,
as soon as my mood gets ruined, I'm just like, okay,
I
block.
know. I
But
don't
for the
blame
most part, like I feel like the reselling community, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but they're just like everyone's doing something so differently. Like everyone, I don't think you could put two resellers side by side and like say they're doing the same thing.
you.
Like everyone has their different spin on it, so that's I don't know.
Everybody's got a different style.
Exactly. But that's like my favorite part, just like watching how other people are doing things, and I don't know, it's crazy how like literally you could be in any situation in terms of your living situation, like really any situation. I keep saying situation, but like anyone can make it work in terms of like eBay or however whatever platform you decide to sell on. Like
Yeah. Even if you just do Craigslist or
yeah,
Facebook
part time like
Marketplace.
selling for like dedicating like 2 hours a week, or working a 40-hour full-time job, and on top of that working on your reselling business for another 40 hours. Like
Mhm.
the spectrum is just so incredibly wide. It's crazy.
It is, absolutely. So how do you keep yourself motivated every day?
I think setting that arbitrary goal. So right now it's like consistently having like 200 plus sales days. That's like
Mhm.
my first goal. And you know, I am trying to just like constantly. So I guess like at the end of the day, eBay is very simple. Like the very bare. If you're just like looking at it bare bones, like you source, list, and when something sells, you ship it out. And I think
Rinse
the
and repeat.
hardest, yeah, the hardest part to stay motivated about is definitely listing. So I don't know. I try not to put like a cap on how much I'm listing, but just trying to consistently list is like I know for sure like having more items on my store, that's gonna you know ultimately be what drives the sales up. And of
Mhm.
course like quality sourcing. So I'm constantly trying to like learn about like new categories. I'm constantly experimenting. I feel like I've been making a lot of bad buys just because I'm willing to make those purchases just to take it back home and learn about like a new category.
Right.
Like this past weekend, I bought like a little packet of postcards,
Uh-huh.
and I picked like I think it was like 26 or 27. It was just like a stack of postcards. I picked it up at an estate sale for $15. I don't know anything about postcards, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take these back home and see what I can do with it, and just like through the process, learn a thing or two about postcards, and then just kind of like building up my knowledge, just so I'm sourcing at the end of the day, better. Like short term, maybe I'm like making a few bad buys. Maybe I'm gonna make less money in terms of like ROI than I'd ideally like.
Right.
Just like the cost of learning, it's I guess I'm like
Well,
paying
maybe
for
you'll at least make your money back, you know?
yeah, I guess I'm like paying for a course by just like buying something that I'm
Yeah,
not like
that's a good way
100%
of
sure
looking
about.
at it. That's a
Yeah,
good way of
so
looking at it. What about those manga books that you picked up at the thrift shop?
did you see that? Yeah, that was so when I was yeah, that was I don't know, like when I brought them home and started listing it, I opened it up, I was like, what the heck did I
For
buy?
anybody listening, you have to go over on
Yeah.
Josh's channel and watch his video with his manga
Oh my
books.
goodness. Because when I was at the
You
thrift
put that up
store,
today, right?
yeah, I put the
Yes,
video up
and look
today,
for the
and then
video for September 10th, 2019.
yeah, so when I was in the store, I just saw kind of like the cartoony, like anime style
Yeah,
cover art.
mhm.
I was like, oh, like manga books. Like I know if you have like the entire series, they
You are
sell pretty
gold,
much.
right? Yeah.
So all I did was I typed in the title, and then the artist or the writer, whoever the comic writer was, I just typed that into eBay, just looked at comps. I was like, oh, like these titles are selling really well for, good amount of money. And the buying cost is $1 a book. So I was like, oh, that's like a no-brainer.
I would have
And
bought
then
them.
outside of that, I was just like on my merry way. And then when I came home and I started listing it, I think like half the books on the
Do
cover.
you have one handy?
Yeah, I do. The, so these are the two that. Okay, I think I can show these two on camera. This is the one where I was like, it says explicit content right there. I'm like, huh. And then
What's the title of
major-
it?
majority of the books. This is just called the Kane Saga. So the title just sounds like a random like anime series or a manga series. So I really didn't think much about it. I saw, yeah, I saw the little thing on the title says explicit content. This one, oh my god, like this title when I read it, I was just like, speak. I showed this in my video too.
What's it say?
It says the left hand dreams of him. I could, yeah, like when I saw that title, I was like, oh my god, like what did I buy?
Real
But
quick shout out to Sue. She popped in the chat. She
was she
sells
in
by
here?
Sue.
Sue is awesome.
One of my favorite girl resellers.
Yeah. And she does Amazon primarily like you too, so yeah. I mean, I do want to get into Amazon eventually, but it's just I just feel like it'd just be such a time consuming thing to learn the platform. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like I'm willing to commit that time yet.
Well, even
Until,
whenever you're ready, just start, maybe the way I started was I just started kind of blending it in with my eBay source.
yeah, yeah. And then I do have like a few books, I guess, at home, like used books that I can kind of just play around with and learn the process.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of figure out how to send in a shipment. I
Yeah.
think that's
Oh,
like,
real quick, Sue said you would love it.
oh
You would
yeah,
love Amazon.
because I do enjoy like
I
retail
think he would. I think Josh would crush it. Crush it like beyond anybody's
yeah,
business.
well, we'll see. It is on like my bucket list, like to do bucket list.
Uh-huh.
So well, I don't know. There might be an update in a few months. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we can talk after the show more too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that you would just totally crush it. As much RA as you like to do doing eBay,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of time.
you'd be the first person that I ask questions to.
Well, please.
So,
And then
so
I won't know
be
and I'll go
prepared
ask
for
Lou. And if Lou doesn't know, I'll go ask Sue. If Sue doesn't know, then I'll ask, Rise and
that.
Grind.
Mhm.
We'll just roll
Yeah,
the chain.
so just be prepared for random questions from me once I start getting into Amazon.
Oh, I ping Lou with random questions all day long.
Yeah, the same question probably too. Like, I'd probably be asking the same exact questions. You're like, I answered this 2 days ago, Josh. I'm like, but but
But I
this is
still don't get
different.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody needs to have somebody that they can ping questions to when they start Amazon.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to be your somebody.
Okay. I'll hold you up to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's talking about holding things up. So how do you keep yourself accountable every day? We talked
That's
about your motivation and we
yeah.
talked about, your goal setting. How do you keep yourself accountable to all that every
Really,
day?
that's like
Now there's no
that's
military
that's the
telling you what
crazy
to
part.
do.
Yeah, it's all like self-inflicted pain in terms of keeping myself to a schedule. But I do try to. I've done this like it's something I've been doing. It's not like something new, but I try to keep like to-do lists. So at a minimum, I try to keep myself accountable to certain tasks. So, you know, I limit myself to like, okay, like I'm not gonna spend more than like 3 4 hours on the road. Like I need to be back by lunchtime if I'm gonna go sourcing this morning, just so
Mhm.
I can spend the afternoon trying to list. So just keeping like just little things like that in mind when I create my to-do list, like okay, like sourcing, like 3 4 hours at most. You need to be back by lunch or something like that.
See, I'm the kind of person, if I want a source, I just go.
Yeah, you just kind of go with
I
the
just
flow.
go.
Yeah.
I'm on the road and I am just gone. Just
But
gone.
I'm also at the point right now where I don't really know what my schedule is right now. I'm still experimenting with little things here and there. Like, do I ship items when I first wake up, or I've just been like this week, I've just been listing, like that's like the first thing I do. And then I leave shipping to like 2 hours before the post office closes. I'm like, okay, like 2 hours prior is the cutoff. Like I have to start shipping now. So
Uh-huh.
just in case for whatever reason shipping takes 2 hours, I can still make it to the post office, whatever.
Is your
So I'm
post
just like,
office close to you?
it is. It's about like, I think it's like less than a mile.
Oh,
But,
wow. Our
but
post
where,
office, no lie, is 25 minutes away.
oh really?
Yeah,
But
so
a mile sounds close, but where I live, so I live like 5 minutes from the
yeah,
George Washington Bridge.
yeah,
It's
that's true.
just so congested. Like,
Okay, but it's better than 25 minutes.
yeah, yeah. It still takes me like, I guess, yeah, I can't complain. I was gonna say like 5, 6 minutes to get to the post office, but
Yeah, ours is seriously 25 minutes away. I've clocked it, 25 minutes,
yeah.
which is ridiculous for a
Mhm.
metropolitan. Well, I would consider Orlando
Yeah,
metropolitan, suburban. I don't know what kind of area it is, but yeah, suburban.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
That is
it's
kind of
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
It is. It's way crazy. So if I need to do my eBay shipping, I have to put in a pickup request.
Yeah. I know some people they have issues with that too. I mean, it's all area dependent and depends on your postal workers.
It does, and I put a note on my mailbox.
Okay. Yeah. So just
So
like
yeah.
double, triple tap just to make sure,
Mhm. Yep,
and
and
then
the postal guy
stare
yeah,
out the window
the
just
postal
in
guy
case.
that I have now, his wife sells on Etsy, so he totally gets
Okay.
it. So
That's
even
awesome.
on a
Yeah.
Saturday, like, if I don't have any packages to pick up, because because I'm not doing
hmm
eBay as much, I don't have daily sales, I'll be
Yeah.
honest, and if he doesn't see packages out there, he'll come and knock on the door.
You'll double check. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's every reseller's dream to have
I
a
know, he's
postal
totally his
worker like
name's
that.
Steven, you with USPS in Orlando
Yeah,
rocks. He's
that's
getting a big
awesome.
Christmas gift
Yeah.
this
He probably doesn't even want the bonus. He's just doing it just to do
I
it.
know, yeah, because he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. His wife sells part-time, like, handmade stuff on
hmm
Etsy, and he totally
Okay.
gets it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
everyone's
he's talked to
dream.
me about my business before, and yeah, we've had a whole conversation, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, he's cool. He's cool. He's probably like in his 30s,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
he totally gets e-commerce. It's his,
hmm
he gets it.
Yeah. I haven't
So
done I feel like going to the post office for me right now is like a good way for me to like force myself out of the house. It's
yeah,
very
that's
easy
true.
if you're not sourcing to just kind of sit down in the chair like all day.
I know.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, like this
I
is this is
know.
my opportunity to get some vitamin D and get some fresh air.
I know. I know. Today it was just I didn't leave the house unless if I had to pick up or drop off my kid at school.
hmm
That was it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That was
very
it.
easy for that to happen though,
I have to
without a
give a
doubt.
shout out to The Truth. He popped in. I haven't seen him in a while. I
Yeah,
hope
I
things
haven't
are
seen him in a
well.
while too.
I hope things are good with him.
Yeah.
So, well, we are coming up on our hour already. Can you believe
Oh wow,
it?
really? Okay.
Yeah, crazy,
No, I
right?
can't. And we
Where
were
where
talking
did it go?
beforehand too, before we went live.
I know, and I'm keeping you on for a few minutes after, so you can't go anywhere yet.
No,
So,
I'm not all night, so
what are your last words of advice for people that are thinking about being full-time?
thinking about so I
Yeah.
think like the biggest factors for me, so leading up to it, like I made sure to have like a pretty healthy emergency fund,
Uh-huh.
just to kind of like give that little cushion. And like emergency fund, that's really just whatever you're comfortable with. I mean that's like I'm not gonna tell someone what
Oh,
their
Dave
comfort level
Ramsey
for.
says your emergency fund should be 6 months of your expenses. Just
Yeah,
saying. That's Dave Ramsey's definition.
that's mine's like yeah, mine's like pretty healthy. So I was
Good,
pretty comfortable with that. So like worst case scenario, if I make $0, I'll be able to survive for X amount of months while I'm trying to like find a job or something.
good.
So having the emergency fund
Not
that
find a
you're
job while you're still
comfortable
trying
with,
to build your business.
exactly, yeah.
That's what you're gonna do.
So having that fund that you're comfortable with definitely was like something that really helped me push into this. And then the other thing is just like I guess like where I was for my stage of my life, I guess like I'm married, 0 kids right now. Um, military contract was ending, so that it's not. I guess I don't want to say like I lost my job, but coming to the end of the contract, I was like,
Mhm.
okay, like if I don't apply for a job, then I'm essentially unemployed, right? So yeah, I was kind of like leading up to it. I was like, I really had to make a decision. Like, am I gonna do this full time or am I gonna apply for a job? So if you're gonna do it, like, just go all in. Like, there's no such thing as 75% full time. It's either you dive head first and put everything into it, or you go find a job and just stick with part-time reselling. So just having that like self-confidence, like I know for sure like I wasn't ready to go full time, but just like having that self-confidence and the support group around you, just being there, like saying like maybe like in the beginning it'll be pretty rough, but just give yourself a few months and you'll be able to build it up. So I don't know, maybe it'll be a different story in a few months, but I'm like confident that I can do this in a few months, build it up to the point where it's bringing, a consistent amount of sales or whatever. And also understanding that reselling is just, there's like ups and downs, and just being okay with that
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, just being okay with that. And yeah, I don't know, that was kind of like my thought process leading into this whole transition. But at the end of the day, I don't know anything about full-time reselling. I'm like what, like 2 weeks
Just like
in
everybody
spending.
else, flying by the seat of your
Yeah.
pants. That's what we all do.
At the end of
None
the
of us
day,
know how
I
to
have
do it
no
full time.
idea.
We just do it.
Yeah. So I guess I've been doing this like 2 weeks, like spending all my time on my business. So to be continued and updated as we
Oh,
go. But that's like the whole thing with this whole business. It's just kind of figuring it out and just adjusting along the
yep,
way. So
it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. So good night, y'all.
yeah, good night. Thanks for having me on, Marcy.
You are
And thanks
welcome.
everyone for coming. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, good night.